Him not right for you, I think you need to live from the boy too boring him for make you have fun.
Get in here, get in here, get in here.
Your man's done. Stop fight with him, make him fight for you like Tyson. Like Tyson. Too nice to him, make him fight for you like Tyson. Like Tyson. Breaking news.
This is a breaking news development. Get in here. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me.
Breaking news.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let's go.
Breaking news. If you's a king, treat her like a queen. Remember, send out the two and I like a
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's going down tonight. Oh yes. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. You can hide. You can run, but you cannot hide. Man, oh man. Let's bring it down. I'm gonna let a few more of you get in here, then we're gonna go and talk about this breaking news involving Cardi B and the blogger lady.
Be careful where you drop your seat.
We're gonna break it down tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even gonna play with you. We ain't gonna tell you stuff that ain't real. We ain't gonna be putting out fake stories. We're gonna let you know what happened today. We're gonna let you know what happened today. And what does it mean? Ladies and gentlemen.
It means that was just a dry run.
Hi, everybody. That's a recording from earlier today, actually within the last hour. And I was on Instagram, but I was playing it just to see if you guys were paying attention. But as the title states, this is a breaking news development in the bankruptcy case involving Tasha K. And we want to put a little light on the situation real quick here. Hold on a second here, because I look like, let's see, how's that? That's much better. That's much better. Kind of bright. I'm surprised some of you guys are still here. I didn't tweet this out, but I'm going to put this on YouTube because I know that by this time tomorrow, I know the intro was lit. It was going down. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it was going down on Instagram. But listen, we can turn it up here now. We can really turn it up. Do you really want me to turn it up? Because I can turn it up. I can really get down over here. But yes, this newest development that came down today. Well, actually yesterday, because it's after 12, but in California, it's still today. So a federal judge in Florida, where the blogger lady went to. She left Georgia and went to Florida to seek bankruptcy protection. Now, I don't know how many of you have been following the story. If you've been following my coverage of the proceedings as it relates to the bankruptcy case, as well as the actual trial that involved the defamation lawsuit, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure you guys are up to speed on what's been happening. So, greetings and salutation. Yes. So basically, Tasha K filed a Chapter 11 seeking debt protection in the Southern District of Florida in Fort Lauderdale Court. And one of her biggest creditors was Cardi B. Cardi B is owed right now with interest and everything, over $4 million. So in her lawyer's various motions, and Tasha K's lawyer's various motions, they were trying to fight to not have to pay Cardi B the money that's owed. And because I covered the trial, I knew that some portions of that judgment wasn't going to be discharged. And I'll tell you why it wasn't going to be discharged is because of the type of judgment that she received. The jurors found that her acts were malicious. And when you have malicious acts in a defamation case, they are not dischargeable. And it almost appeared that Tasha K's attorneys may have had the ups on Cardi B. And that was only for a hot second. They made an argument about the monies that Tasha K was owing to Cardi B, and they were right. Kebe Studios owed $500,000 as there were two types of judgments rendered, one to the Tasha K personally and one to Kebe Studios, which has since been transferred, but you can't really transfer the debt. So that's going to be another interesting part of this case. But what I want to do today is share with you what happened in court. And I'm going to bring up some exhibits. I typically don't be bringing up exhibits, but I'm going to bring up some so you guys will say, oh, that didn't happen. Mr. Barnes is lying. She won. Tasha said she was going to kick Cardi's butt in this bankruptcy court. And we don't believe you. So we want you to bring up the receipts. So we're going to bring up the receipts. So here we have the judge's signature. Let me know if you guys can see that. Let me see if you guys can see that. Can you see that? Can you see that? Is that clear enough? Can you see that? Make sure you guys can see that. I want to make sure I'm sharing it the right way. I'll make sure you guys can see that. Let's see here. Let's see, you guys can see that. Okay. Okay, I want to try to read it to you. I'm going to read it to you, basically. This is a partial summary judgment against Latasha Kebe, pursuant to Federal Rule Civil CVP 58 made applicable to this adversary proceeding by Federal Rule Bank R 7058. And this court agreed order granting motion for partial summary judgment. I'm going to bring the other document up because we don't have both of them on the page. We're going to bring the other one up. We're going to bring the other one up. Let me see if I can bring it up bigger so you guys can see it, because this is like kind of covering my face up. I don't want my face covered up. Let's see if we can bring that over here. Let's see. We got I don't want to share the screen. I might share the wrong thing. I don't want to share the screen. But we're going to bring that up. Well, you can see me, hopefully. Can you hear my voice? I guess that's the question. Can you hear my voice? Put the 2 in if you can hear my voice. Let's see here. Let's take that one down. Let's bring the other one up. Boom. Boom. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So here's the meat and potatoes of what the judge ruled. As you can see, October 6th. Here's what the judge ruled. Number 1, partial summary judgment is entered in favor of the plaintiff, Belcalis Malinas Almazar, and against defendant Latasha Kebe. The award of damages, number 2, the award of damages in the amended defamation judgment against defendants individually and jointly and post-judgment interest thereon pursuant to 28 U.S.C. Section 1961 are accepted from this discharge pursuant to 11 U.S.C. Section 523A6. Specifically, the following awards set forth in the amended defamation judgment are accepted from discharge. A, compensatory damages of $1,025,000 for pain and suffering and or reputational injury for medical expenses. B, punitive damage of $1 million. C, litigation expenses of $1,338,753.47. D, post-judgment interest on the foregoing pursuant to 28 U.S.C. Section 1961 in the amount of $41,725.29. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can get your calculators out, do the math, but basically, the judge has said, we know you filed this Chapter 11. However, you cannot discharge these amounts here. You can go, what you can notice from this order is that Kebe Studios, the $500,000 that Kebe Studios was judged, is not in this judge's order. So that still leaves $3 million plus on the table that the judge said Tasha K must fork up. She has to come up with the money. There's no payment plan. There's no, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. That's from those who know what I'm talking about. But you got to pay this money. You might make a deal over there with the 500,000 plus whatever you owe the IRS, et cetera, et cetera. But we on this side is still coming for our paper. That's what Cardi's saying. We still come for our money. Cardi doesn't have to stop anything. Cardi doesn't have to negotiate anything as it relates to this newest judge's order because it's not dischargeable. It's no judge in America is going to discharge that money that this judge has signed. Not happening. And this is why being humble would have gone a long way. It would have went a long way. But it didn't. And it was the gaslighting, the posting of her husband's just fake stories about her husband after the judgment was entered. So she was still on this hate train. And I don't know anyone that is in that kind of debt to someone thought that she was going to prevail in this. She sat in the court like I sat in the court and like others sat in the court and heard the jury's decision. But she thought that leaving Georgia, running to Florida to try to seek a protection like O.J. Simpson received, but he didn't get a malicious award against him. He got a punitive. He would say, well, the Goldman family believed that he was responsible for the deaths of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. How malicious? That's not malicious, then what is? But in this instance, the judge made it clear. You're not running from this debt. You're not running. As long as you're in America and you have assets in America, you have to pay her. So I think the bankruptcy, in the bigger scheme of things, I think the filing of the bankruptcy might have been a waste of time. Because if she had honest people around her, they would have told her, even the bankruptcy lawyers she hired, why did he think, if he knew the type of bankruptcy, now he wasn't in the initial trial in the district court, but I would think that he had access to all the documents. He would have read all the documents and seen that this wasn't any regular bankruptcy. This was a bankruptcy that is not dischargeable. And now the judge has spoken. And the judge has said, nah, even by your own admission, there was an issue with having the $500,000 wrapped up into the bankruptcy. And she was actually trying to have that money, which didn't make any sense. If we think about this for a second, when she filed a bankruptcy, she listed even the monies that was owed to Kebe Studios in that bankruptcy. And I was wondering when I was monitoring the hearing, the 341 hearing, I'm saying to myself, why is Kebe Studios a part of this when it is a separate entity? Even though there was a judgment, Kebe Studios never filed bankruptcy. And you will find they may turn around and file bankruptcy and they may get protection. But actually, if we think about it, even Kebe Studios won't be protected. Tasha K cannot even discharge Kebe Studios in the remaining 500,000 in the bankruptcy because that's listed under Kebe Studios. And Kebe Studios has to file a bankruptcy in order for that to get discharged. So basically, it's a waste of time. All the money that was adjudged against Tasha K, the judge has said she cannot discharge that. She can't. So now she basically filed a bankruptcy. It was no point in filing it because you can't discharge Kebe Studios because by her own admission, she doesn't own the company. As a matter of fact, they dissolved the company. They didn't dissolve the debt. And that's another issue that will come up later on because both her and her husband had to appear at a deposition. And someone will ask, well, if she filed a bankruptcy, why does her husband have to show up at the deposition as well? Well, there's a reason. They're married. When the judgment came down for Kebe Studios, they were married. So that was their assets. That was part of their assets. And some things I can't really say right now, but I would just say that maybe some things was shared in the hearing, maybe that may be very problematic moving forward. Problematic, very problematic, as a matter of fact, to a point where I don't, listen, if you go and you lie and you tell stories and you perjure yourself, there are consequences. There are consequences for that. There are consequences for that. Now, if they can't get money consequences, what else would the judge do if they can't get money consequences? What do you think can happen if they can't get money? If you can't get blood out of a turnip, what else can you get? You can get their hide. That's what you can get. So this bankruptcy was a waste of time. It really was. And she kind of showed some of her hand. She showed some of her hand. And then she moved let's just say this. Say, for example, she moved assets when the court told her not to move assets when the judgment came down. She was instructed not to move any assets. Think what would happen if she moved assets after the court told her not to move assets. What do you think would happen at this amount? If a federal judge tells you not to move assets and you decide to move assets, and there's clear proof that you move assets, what do you think Cardi should want to see happen? What do you think? Well, in most cases, when you willfully move assets, knowingly move assets, you're telling the court you don't give a damn. You're going to do what the hell you want to do and when you want to do it. And some people say, it's a civil case. Nothing can happen in a civil case. Not so fast. You can Google this. You can ask the question, hey, Google, can someone go to jail for violating the court's order? Think about that. Think about that for a second. And then you talking crap about the judge. You thought you came a long way, but you went the wrong way. You were talking trash about Judge William Ray. Everyone heard you. The judge is this, the judge is that. The judge is this, the judge is that. Then you went to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. The 9th and 11th. 9th Circuit, 11th Circuit. 9th Circuit. Well, I think it's 11th Circuit. And you appealed it. You appealed your case, as you should. I know I would appeal. This is absurd. I ain't got $40 million. I'm appealing. I'm appealing $100. So you said, I'm going to fight this, and you went and filed it. And you did what you had to do. But you didn't actually do what you should have did. You used your criminal defense attorney to file an appeal, and any smart person knows that you only hire the people that have the expertise in what they do. You didn't use an appellate attorney. You used a criminal defense attorney for not only your civil trial, but your appeal. She had no experience in doing appeals in a defamation case. It was just ridiculous. But now the fight to protect your assets is over. It's over. And she may say, I'm going to appeal this ruling from the judge. That's just, she's probably going to appeal it. I'm just going to say, she's probably going to appeal she's going to try to appeal the judgment. She's going to appeal the judgment that the judgment has already been is settled. She's going to try to appeal what the bankruptcy judge said, but with no basis. So she's going to spend more money trying to appeal it instead of, give that to Cardi. And what Cardi may do is say, hey, listen, I want all your assets. I'm not even waiting anymore. I don't want to wait anymore. I want all your assets. I want the house. I want the cars. The judge is not going to stop her. Guys, please hold on. Please hold on. Hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. Stand by. Sorry, guys. I have to do this. I apologize. This is an important message. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But wow. Just wow. Well, I don't listen. And I want to, and I think that's a good comment, and I'll tell you why I would agree with you. I'm gonna post that here. It's just so much that has been done already, and there may be evidence that there's some maybe some criminal things have been done as well. So I don't know. Like, at what point would you like? It's nothing real she can do. Cardi doesn't have to wait for anything. The judge just said, "I don't care what's going over there in Chapter 11. I got nothing to do with that. I'm just coming to get my money. I'm here for my money. Whatever you got going on over there, you keep doing it over there. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that." The judge said, "You got to do it. You can Your name is her name is basically removed from this bankruptcy. And the $500,000 that's with Kebe Studios, that's going to have to be removed as well because Kebe Studios never filed for bankruptcy. So now you filed a Chapter 11 that is now part of your credit. But does it? Well, I guess it would affect the credit. She filed it. And it's not going to get discharged. That's not getting discharged. It's not getting discharged. So what was it all for? What was it all for? What was the benefit of it? And it just gives you that, like, at some point, someone should have said, listen, let's come. I mean, if I was advising Tasha K, I would have said, listen, you done screwed up. It's, you lost. Let's try to work a payment arrangement out civilly. But now what's happened is Cardi has spent more money fighting to get the money that she's already owed. Because those lawyers still have to get paid. And I'm guessing there may be another bill coming down the pipeline because Cardi had to hire an attorney to fight this frivolous, and this may be another argument. This is a frivolous bankruptcy because if she got good advice, they would have told her, you can't discharge this. You're not going to be able to discharge this. It looks good. You try to use the new bankruptcy law for protection. You were sitting around saying, hey, I got some great attorneys. You may have good attorneys, but Cardi has great attorneys. And they knew going in that the money that was owed to them wasn't dischargeable. And it's a reason why they asked for that during the trial, because they knew that she was going to try to file bankruptcy. They knew this beforehand. They knew going in is we not only need a win, we need a win with malicious intent and making sure she cannot file a bankruptcy and have it discharged. They knew this going in the trial. They knew this. The Cardi B's attorneys knew what the play was going to be. They had foresight. They knew that this was going to happen. They said that they knew they sized, you know how a boxer sizes another boxer up? They sized Tasha K up and said, listen, we already know what we're dealing with. And she's going to come back and try the old bankruptcy game. And they said, we got something for you. We getting a judgment specifically that you cannot discharge. And what Tasha K did was she tested the waters and she realized that she couldn't swim in those waters. And someone said, can she take a channel and all this? Absolutely. She can take all that. That a judge can say, as part of the not punitive, but sanctions, because she moved the assets. She's done things. The judge can penalize her by saying, we want your platforms. We want your platforms. We want to put your platforms in the conservatorship. We want to manage the money. We want to make it unwind with Cardi B. Judge can do anything. And these judges are known to do very creative things when they think they're dealing with creative individuals. So the question is, well, you can't. No, I see the question. YouTube has a almost like a disclaimer, and it indemnifies them from being sued. Because if YouTube could be sued, don't you know how many people would be suing YouTube every day? Every YouTuber that's been attacked by another YouTuber, and they want to sue the platform. The YouTube platform is just that. It's a platform where people can create content. This platform is for content creators, and YouTube has indemnified themselves in being sued. So I know people say, go after YouTube. They got the money. I thought that too. I said early on, I said this to Cardi. I said, Cardi, you make YouTube a lot of money. Your videos make a lot of money for YouTube. But if she would have removed all her videos from YouTube, Cardi B, then she would be hurting her own bag. Just think about it. She would be hurting her own bag because Cardi B is getting a higher percentage than most YouTube creators are getting because she's bringing volume to the platform and she's bringing eyes on the on YouTube and for the advertisers. So it would make sense to go after the creator, especially someone who has the ability to make money. And here's the other thing that will happen. When Tasha K filed her bankruptcy, a automatic stay was put in place, meaning Cardi couldn't collect any money from Google or any other platform that she had her monies, monies that Tasha K was making. Well, that stay is lifted. That automatic stay is lifted. So Tasha K will not be getting any money from YouTube. She won't, because the stay only protects her from creditors that are under the bankruptcy. Cardi B is no longer under that bankruptcy. And that's why I said it was a waste of time. She can absolutely move forward and collect anything she want to collect. She can literally see her driving the car and saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you get out the car? Can you sign this title?" They don't have to sign it. We'll just get, got a judgment. And, it's so many different ways to collect assets. And that's something I'm not going to talk about here. But there are many ways that people can collect assets. So many, and here's the other problem here. If you follow the money, you follow the numbers. If someone owes IRS $140,000, $150,000 in a year of taxes, they would have had to make at least $700,000, $800,000 in that year. You just don't stop making money because you lost a lawsuit. You stop making money on paper because you're hiding money. You're hiding money. The other problem is you dissolved the company. You did a series of things that it may look good immediately in that moment, but when the dust settles, there's be an analysis done right now. They actually have a lot of stuff right now. So it's not when, I know people put on different faces because they're in front of the public, but it's not, it's not an open and shut situation here. It's not open and shut situation. Like, the judge signed the order, and now it may go back to a different judge, and I don't know what judge that may be. It may be another judge. I don't know. I can't really say. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting these notifications like crazy. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So does anyone have any questions? Let me put, I'm gonna share. Well, before I do that, I want you guys to look at this. I'm gonna bring this up real quickly. Hold on. Those who have missed my live earlier, I'm gonna share this with you. Yes, this is breaking news. And shout out to
public figure. A lot of stuff that Tasha K like with that down the line.
And why didn't they sit in there about it? Don't worry about what's going on over there, because you're over here. Don't worry about that.
Sorry, guys, I was
You should ask the question, why didn't they come to the federal courthouse, and why didn't they sit in there for all those days like the media outlet that you are watching now? So don't worry about why they're not reporting it. Just be glad that I'm talking about it. How about that? How about that part?
You know, guys, what interests me is kind of funny when people say, why isn't the big news outlets reporting it? Why do you wait for the big news outlets to report something when I'm reporting it? Because I covered it. And I said, why are you not asking the question, why didn't they cover the trial in the first place? Don't worry about why someone else is not reporting it. Just be glad that I'm reporting it. That kills me when people say, oh, why is CNN not reporting it? Okay, so is that the only reliable source that you get your news from? I digress.
The legal eagle, she was in the court covering Tory Lanez with me. She's been in these streets reporting on some high profile stories as well. And I want to bring on the legendary Pam Esquire. Would say, everyone give Pam Esquire a big, put a 2 in the chat. You're glad to see her. You hit the lights and everything. She came in with the lights and everything. Oh my goodness. Pam, what's up, Pam?
What's going on?
Man, you listen, I gotta hit my lights. How's my makeup? Listen. Pam, I first want to say that I appreciate the legal intellect that you use whenever you're doing an analysis on a case and the way you break it down. But I know the people that have been watching me cover this, they want me just to give it to them. They don't want no cut. They want it raw. They want it hard. So we got to just give it to them. Let them know. They pretty much, people know the background, but I want you to give them the summary of this judge's order so people can understand what that means. And then I want to delve into some of the significance of it.
Well, first, before you can go straight to the order, I know that's what you want to do. You have to know, of course, Tasha K filed for bankruptcy, but what Cardi B's attorney did was file what we call an adversarial proceeding, which is a lawsuit within the bankruptcy. So she becomes the plaintiff, Tasha became the defendant, and she basically was arguing that her verdict that she got, her judgment, should not be included in any type of bankruptcy proceeding that Tasha K initiates because of it was a verdict of malicious intent, which is non-dischargeable under the bankruptcy code. So that's what the actual complaint was in the lawsuit that she filed within the bankruptcy. Now, Tasha K responded and really didn't deny. I mean, how can you really deny? The verdict is what the verdict is. She really couldn't deny that a judgment was against her for defamation. That is a specific intent type of a tort. She didn't really deny it. What she did dispute was there was $500,000 that was allocated towards Kebe Studios, and she was saying that shouldn't be imputed on her. That was really their crux of their argument. Of course, she kind of denied that it was really intentional. She denied that, but the jury had already ruled, which is called collateral estoppel. So that issue was already litigated. You can't go and relitigate it in another proceeding without it being considered collateral estoppel. So what Cardi B's attorney did was say, hey, we see your answer, and your answer isn't really denying that you lost. It's not really denying that this is a specific intent tort. And you can't just now say all of a sudden, well, I didn't do it on purpose. It really wasn't intentional, because I believe Tasha K did respond in the answer and say it wasn't intentional or whatever her argument was, because that issue was already litigated in federal court.
Right, before you go further, I want to say something. The $500,000 that they were disputing, I said in my last slide when I talked about it, that the Cardi B, Tasha K's lawyers was right. That wasn't part of the malicious judgment against them. So they did have a point there, which really,
you mean,
when you start looking at
the attorney was right, that it wasn't a part of the malicious intent, because you said Cardi B's attorney was right.
No, Tasha K's attorney was right.
Okay.
But it doesn't really matter, because that's only a piece of a bigger pie.
Even though it's a lot of money, $500,000, we not snuffing that. If anybody just
no.
But that's not much compared to the overall million, that's still left. The overall few million that's still left that she has to pay. So what Cardi B's attorney did was file what's called a motion for summary judgment, but did it partially because they're saying you're not really disputing that this was a malicious intent, which under the bankruptcy rules, that's non-dischargeable under bankruptcy.
Absolutely.
And so not arguing that, then we can worry about that $500,000. We can fight with that down the line. But right now, Judge, you might as well go ahead because they're not really disputing that and enter an order to say that this part is non-dischargeable. That doesn't have anything to do with that $500,000, and that's pretty much what the judge ruled today. There was an order that was entered. Again, I was talking to you. I didn't know how. It didn't look like the court drafted the order. It looks like perhaps both parties may have agreed.
Cardi B's attorneys because
Cardi B's draft. Okay, but as you've seen on the top, it did have the judge's signature. That's what
absolutely, and which is important. The judge basically said, "Okay, you may be able to put the $500,000 in some type of payment plan, but meanwhile, Cardi B can come after the $3 million right now." So I believe that she
that notice of judgment was entered as well by the clerk.
Entered. So any stays and all that, the judge said it. It was plain. Even when Tasha K's lawyers put that part in, well, we dispute the $500,000. You didn't say, Your Honor, we dispute the $3 million plus. So the judge like, well, you didn't make an argument by that, and the lawyers, Cardi's lawyer.
See, this is why they mentioned collateral estoppel, which is issue preclusion, is because I believe, if I recall correctly, I don't know if you read it, but I believe in the answer, Tasha K did dispute, even though basically tried to say I still dispute it was malicious intent.
But even though she can't do that because it's
even though she can't because it's already been
decided by a jury and been affirmed by the Ninth Circuit as well.
That's what made Cardi B's attorney do the little caveat that you saw on what collateral estoppel and issue preclusion. Like, you can't relitigate that.
You can't.
Like, you just admitted the judgment is what it is, and then they put quotes from punitive damages. You got to have malicious intent for punitive damages. So that was that.
So explain to people, and I know I've said it, explain to people why this bankruptcy that she's filed is Chapter 11, while she might need some type of, I guess, protection. The main protection she was going for was the money that she owed Cardi B.
I know we discussed before the hearing, the hearing that they had or whatever that people were discussing, and I believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that that Tasha K acknowledged that her purpose of filing this mainly was to get, this was a large debt, because if you really
said that, she said that in the trustees hearing.
It's not that much. Like, she doesn't have major debt. This is really her. She has like a truck that she paying a note on. She has, like, the IR, between the IRS, and it's people that owe way more to the IRS than that. Between the IRS and that, it was probably maybe less than $200,000 or something between those debt. So her main debt was really Cardi B. So I think that was her point of even filing it. So it's just that takes away the purpose of filing it.
And you know what I thought was interesting, when Tasha K's lawyers proposed, and the trustee proposed, well, Tasha K's lawyer proposed the $200,000 over 5 years, or 5.6% of the total judgment, and that wasn't flying. I don't know why they thought that wasn't even going to fly. Now maybe it may be 5% of the 500,000, but the 3 million plus, I don't know exact numbers, but 3.2 million or 3.4 million that now Cardi, along with her team, can go after at this point in time.
Well, you have to file a plan, and when you file a plan, it has to be based on your income. It can't be, so if she's saying, because obviously she's the face of what she does, she's the talent, but she's saying, like, maybe you're a loan out talent and you get a salary. So all of this whole Tasha K doesn't all belong to you. It belongs to her husband. So you get paid, or his company or whatever corporation. So you get paid a salary. And I believe she was estimating she would make $6,000 a month. So those amounts were contingent on how much she was getting paid every month and then breaking it down between all of her debt.
But
so that's 120,000 over 5 years, because they don't have you do it indefinitely. What's the point of a plan if you're going to be on it for 30 years?
Right, absolutely.
So that
but what
plan that was based on her income that she gave them every month that they came up with.
So
So
to your point, Pam, there was a deposition by both individuals after this proposed plan was made. Do you know what came out that deposition?
Not.
Okay, well, I assume we all know what came out that deposition. Let's just say that.
So you're not gonna tell us, huh? Okay.
I would just say that you might want to keep Olga on the payroll.
Why would she do such a thing? Olga?
Well, Olga's a criminal defense attorney, right?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's my cue. Let me get off of here.
No, I was just asking if she's a criminal defense attorney. Never mind. Go ahead. You were saying. I'm sorry.
Tasha,
I'm sorry.
That's Dennis talking. I don't know what he's talking about.
No. I didn't say anything. I'm just getting clarification.
I see folks putting me in their lives, and I don't know what is going on, and I get caught up in I'd have been dragged before on YouTube. I'm sure.
Listen. Let's just say you are protected under this law based on the information that it may be out there soon enough. I would just say that the plan. I won't use the word plan to have a bankruptcy without really thinking it out and still antagonizing the person that you owe. It's probably not the smartest thing to do. You shouldn't be antagonizing the person that literally you work for now. You shouldn't antagonize that person. You shouldn't do things that.
I think a lot of stuff that Tasha K does may be perhaps a defense mechanism.
This goes beyond defense mechanism. This goes to the heart of why she was even sued. So while some say, well, this is just how no, you sat there, you listened, you heard the video, you heard the testimony, you heard your lawyer's opening, and your lawyer's opening sent a very big signal to the jurors. I've never seen a lawyer who's trying to defend their client lead with such a damaging opening, and I don't know if you remember this, but there was a part where the judge gave both of them a lot of times to do their closing. And I want to say, I know Lily Mae, Choke No Joke, Infamous Silver was in the courtroom. I want to say it was maybe 10 minutes or 12 minutes, and her lawyer only used maybe 3 minutes of the time.
Well,
you milked that.
I was telling you, I did when you were telling me, how significant that's like. You followed the case from the beginning. You were in the court, I didn't even have a channel, so I wasn't even following it. I just have followed the case more so towards watching Cardi B chase the bag. Like that's kind of like how I've been following it, from how she's been trying to, garnish wages and all of that stuff is how I've been watching it. So the only thing I know about the trial is what you told me. But what I will say is I know Olga was not a civil attorney. I know she did defense work. I believe this may have been her first civil case that she done. And then for it to go to trial as your first civil case.
And she had, listen, there were opportunities to get when people say, well, don't go so hard. She had to do, no, she didn't have to do none of this. People forget so soon. Just take it back 3 years ago. Take it back to the opportunities that were there. This woman literally taunted her from the time the paperwork was filed, and even before. She went after individuals, me included, because she felt the need to keep a certain narrative going. So when people are saying, protect the Black woman, well, it was a Black woman that was being attacked during that time, and that was Lovely T. There was another Black woman that was being attacked as well. Michelle Brown. There was another Black woman. But you talk about protecting Black women all the time, but you came to a court with a woman that didn't look nothing. She wasn't definitely not a Black woman, and they got talented
black attorneys, and I'm not saying that I don't want to do black and white attorneys, but I'm going to tell you, there are enough black attorneys in Georgia, people of color, that if you were really sincere and true to the game, shout out to Manny Haley, Terry Woods for the movie True to the Game, a great movie, 1, 2, and 3. Check out True to the Game 2, where you see my name in the bio in the credits as well. But keeping it true to the game, you would have brought in people that looked like you, and you would have definitely brought people in that had experience in litigation and defamation. So when people are saying don't feel, look at the strategy. She had an opportunity to, and I think a qualified attorney would have probably told not to move forward with this case.
But
just take the video down. The arrogance, the embarrassment.
But somebody just said, like, Tasha K, somebody in the chat, I'm sorry, I missed it because it scrolled up, was mentioning about how Tasha K really didn't give her attorney much to work with. Just to tell to sit down and have them to have a come to Jesus moment that perhaps this isn't anything you should be litigating is great legal advice as well. Sometimes the best thing you can tell somebody is no. Like, this is something that you shouldn't move forward with because you may not win it and you may come out millions of dollars, So lawyering does not necessarily mean that you go to the courtroom. A good lawyer would have said,
this is not a case that you fight.
This ain't what you want.
This ain't what you want. First, you got to look at who your opponents are. Who are you going to have to fight? Who are you going to have? You would have did your research on the law firm of Lisa Moore and Sarah Motts and all her team. You would have said, we're probably not going to win this case. And then you have a judge that tells the lawyer that you probably should go back to law school. Like,
ouch.
You should go back to law school. And I'm listening to Judge William Ray, tell this lawyer that you probably should go back to law. This is stuff you learned in first year of law school. I mean, ouch. And then you tell the co-counsel, Sabat, just kept on admonishing him. And I'm like, this is embarrassing for the jury to look at. Your attorney, if you see a judge keep not attacking another attorney, but admonishing them in front of the jury, how would you feel as an attorney? You feel like a child. You feel like he's chastising me. He's taking me to school. And when you have this very authoritative figure saying this to another counsel, and he's a judge, and he's really telling you're doing an awful job in the jury. And when the juror grabbed her pearls in the courtroom, or grabbed when she saw the video and grabbed her, she basically was astonished. I'm like, oh my goodness, is she going to have a heart attack? Because it was just like the color of the courtroom was just like no other. You had to sit in there and just witness this.
They tried to settle according to Tasha, so they were trying to settle with her as well prior to the trial or during the trial.
Settle?
That's what somebody said. They tried to settle with her before the trial.
Well, there was some conversations. But when you believe you're going to win and you got and while you're saying that, Tasha, and you just said this, if Tasha, the lawyer's job is to inform the client of the risks and the gains in the case. And if you are even attempting to sell that she can win this, then yeah, it might be malpractice, but I don't know if it's about.
No, I think it's a difficult thing to say malpractice because myself personally, if I had never done a civil case, I would have gotten a seasoned person to be there with me to be lead.
Second count.
Every time I've done a case in an area that's the first time, regardless, I could have done all the work, all the motion, all the research. But the fact that this is what this person does, I have them be lead no matter how many years you've been practicing. You still do that because you need to make sure you know your crap. There are hundreds of areas of law. Everybody doesn't know all of them. People think just because you're a lawyer, you're well versed in all of them, and you're not. You really are not. There are way too many areas of law because you'll literally just know a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this if you're trying to do everything and never master any area. Well, I don't think you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like but
and for her to try to sell her First Amendment rights were violated. No, the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, your Bill of Rights, you don't have, you have free speech, but free speech is not free when you're saying things that goes against the laws of the land, and in this case, defamation, slander.
Has its limitations.
Has limitations.
Limitations. You can't just say whatever you want to say under the guise of free speech. Now, our defamation case is very difficult generally to win. Yes, when you're a public figure. So that just tells you something right there too, because they are.
And I would tell you this: there was conversation that because she is a celebrity, Cardi B is a celebrity, that this case might have been hard for her to win, especially under Georgia law. It would have been hard for her to win because she's a celebrity, like most public figures. She's a public figure.
Slap statute, which is protect the big people from trying to come against the little people for trying to talk about you. And you can do that pre-litigation where, and it's not in all states, but it's definitely in plenty of them. Georgia, New York, California. New York has the most broad one. California has the broadest one, where when somebody sues you for defamation, before any litigation happens, you can do a motion to try to dismiss and get attorney fees, because some people do try to quell your free speech. They do try to.
Of course. We see it now.
Yeah, they use a lot. People are so litigious these days. I'm like, you guys are suing for any and everything around here. So they're very difficult to win unless you have a rock solid case. And it was like Cardi had like what was called defamation per se, because there are certain areas that if you specifically talk about, then that's considered defamation per se, and you don't even have to say your damages. That's how they can come up with $1 million. You don't have to say how it really damaged you because it's per se. Right. Now you do have malice aspect because she's a public figure, so it has to be malicious intent, and that basically means you had a substantial reason to know that it wasn't true, and you still went forward with it anyway. And if you still, like, she tell you this isn't true, this is, give you her evidence outside of it, and you still run with it, then she was able, according to the jury, prove that it was malicious intent.
And outside of that case, there are cases that we both seen, in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Things were done there. She was doing the most. You can see, if people remember that case. Then you have the Hulk Hogan versus the publication that was sued. They published something that they should have vetted, and that's why Joe Budden didn't. And this is my belief, that he didn't want to put the video out, the interview out that she did with him, because she said certain things in that interview that he didn't want. It passed the legal test.
Yeah, he took it to his legal team before.
Right, and she, I don't know why she thought that he would, with his platform, would have allowed her to make claims, because if people remember, this is why Cardi sued Tasha K, because Tasha K brought another young lady on her platform, was telling some kind of story about she was Cardi B's roommate, and she came with this whole. People know who the person is. Mm-hmm. Star Jones. Yeah. Not Star Jones.
It's not
Star Jones. Not Star Jones. Not Star Jones. Not the other. Not Star Jones. Star. I'm sorry, Star. I was thinking about you, Star. Shout out to Star Jones. He's a great attorney.
Love. Not Star Jones. Never say.
Star Marie. Star Marie. Nobody take this clip and send to Star Jones, because I tell you, listen, I corrected it. Star Marie. Star Marie. But do you know what Star Marie's last name was? It's Star Marie Jones.
She got a default, didn't she? Like, she just got a default.
Yep. Absolutely. So
that was cheaper, wasn't it? What her default?
Well, she listen. Even she was smart enough not to come to court. She got served. Star Marie got served. She was smart enough not to come to court.
Better just not even being like connected to it and being
right.
Like, answering. I ain't,
She did the smart thing. She knew she was served. I know for a fact she was served. Yeah. She didn't come. She was served. She said, "I'm not coming to court. You hit me wherever you're going to hit me with. Just send me the bill."
And what she get? But like $100,000 judgment or something. Then she gets something like a figure.
Yeah. She ain't gonna pay it, but that's
better than 7 though.
Yeah. But I guess some people felt that, well, it was the principle, but the principle was that you lied on this woman and you constantly pushed the narrative. You made a claim about her dad, which was not true. You said certain things that wasn't true, and the jury heard it. Because not forget what people were saying online. It's what was told to the jurors, and they had to, whatever defense you had, that was your opportunity. Not after the trial, not before the trial. When you had that trial, your opportunity was to raise your defenses. You raised the defenses, you had a judgment, you appealed the judgment, and went to the Circuit Court of Appeals, the Ninth Circuit. Ninth Circuit affirmed the judge's ruling, and it is what it is. She runs to file a bankruptcy. You file Chapter 11. You list your creditors. Cardi B is your biggest creditor. You had some small bills here and there. There were small bills.
Yeah.
The taxes, you're gonna have to pay your taxes no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pay your taxes. But
for the most part, she really didn't have debt. She was like in a decent position before this judgment.
Absolutely. I think everyone probably be in just a decent position before that type of judgment. I think pretty much everyone was in a great position.
Hey, Jay.
But it's just to show, you can't commit bankruptcy fraud. And I'm not saying she commit bankruptcy fraud. Well, I'm not really saying I'm saying it, but I'm saying she's not. I don't know. Did she commit bankruptcy fraud?
No.
No, hold on. I'm thinking. Did she commit bankruptcy fraud? Well, we don't know. We'll see later on.
I have against her on a bankruptcy fraud that I know of. Did you see that?
Excuse me?
She doesn't have an order related to bankruptcy fraud.
No, not yet.
See that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, no. I get what you're saying. Go ahead. But the point is, and I'll say this: if you make an admission under oath that's proven to be a lie, proven by the evidence, wouldn't that be considered fraud? A material lie, like maybe
lying is called perjury.
Perjury. It's perjury. But is perjury, can a judge sanction you for perjury? Can a judge issue sanction you for perjury?
You need legal advice on that?
I'm just saying, generally speaking. I'm just asking a general question. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a general question. Can a district judge in a civil case hold you in criminal contempt in certain instances?
In certain instances, you can have it where they have civil contempt or criminal contempt. Yes, even in civil cases.
Civil cases.
Not.
And I think I remember a case. I had to pull it up, but
a lot before they try to throw you in jail. But yes, absolutely, it can happen.
Hey, Curly Red in the building.
What's that?
But so with that said, I would just say that some bells you can't unring. So when people are going, some bells you can't unring. When people are going so hard in the paint, they got to think about how the other person will react to the way they went hard in the paint. I would just say that. I'm kind of talking in riddles right now for reasons.
Do you guys in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Dennis is beating all the way around the mulberry bush and just talking about it. What are you even talking about right now? That's what we want to know. I'm just sitting here. You might be catching me up in a defamation lawsuit.
Oh, you don't trust me? You good. You good. Trust me. You're good.
I don't even know. See, look at the ones coming.
Well, no, listen. These listen. No, listen.
Thank you, guys. The hell you talking about?
Where you find these people at? Can you read the order?
He said, I just want them to say it. Can you spit it out?
So do me a favor, Pam. Do me a favor. Mm-hmm. Can you read the order? You have the order in front of you.
Let me see. Why, you about to put it up in your background?
Just read the order, that part, because I don't think we've actually read it, so people have to understand. You have to put it up, because I believe someone else is going to be.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had to kick Pam out here. It was getting hot and spicy up in the room. She's calling me out. Oh, you're putting the 1 up. That was a pre-recorded. Fooled ya. That was a pre-recorded. I had to listen. I had to do something. I had to get some water. I had to check my security system. But yeah, that was done earlier on Instagram. And for those who had missed it on Instagram, we had it popping on Instagram. But I wanted to come back over to YouTube. When I said Star Jones, I meant Star Marie Jones. I mean, anyone could have made that mistake. I just forgot the middle name, Star Marie Jones. But she also was adjudged, I want to say $100,000. She's probably never going to pay it. And Cardi may not even go. I don't even think Cardi's going to even go after her. But the point is, she got a paper judgment. She was served. She was served like Tasha K was served. But she never. She actually, at some point, I don't know, spitting fires in the room. At some point, I think even Star Marie probably apologized. She apologized to Cardi in a live. So yeah, it's spitting fire. The interest is $41,000, but that's nothing compared to the millions. The interest is get to the millions. We'll deal with the interest later. Like I'm saying, like I'm getting some of that money. But yeah, spitting fire. The 41,000 in interest, and that's from the time of judgment until now. So think about this: is there going to be more interest by the time it is said and done? Will there be more interest? Who knows? Well, she can throw all the shots she wants, spitting fire. She can throw all it and spin fire. I put the link in there in the chat. Why don't you go? I put the link in the chat. Where you at? You need to pull up here. I'm bringing you up on. I'm bringing spitting fire up. Oh, she coming. She coming. She coming. I mean, which is a lot of talk. Just a lot of unnecessary talk about this bankruptcy and how she was going to prevail. All right, coconut water. But if it was anyone else, I would feel very disappointed in the outcome. But I want to bring someone up. I want to bring someone up that I'm a fan of what she does. She gives me inspiration to get on YouTube because they be throwing the grenades at her and she still be right there. Don't give up. She be knocking the grenades out the way, slapping them out the way, and just be going in. Ladies and gentlemen, spitting fire.
What's going on? How you doing?
Spitting fire, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting up here listening to you. I got wind that judgment was signed today.
It was signed today.
Oh my gosh, she putting on her poker face for real because I know she crying.
Yeah, she might not.
Okay, so there's nothing nowhere else she can go from here, right?
Only I don't know. Like she can't go no. Where's she gonna go? Back to the court and say, I want to appeal this order the judge signed, and they're gonna look at her like, what are you appealing? You got the judgment already. What are you appealing? You're appealing the bankruptcy. The process is in place. You can't discharge this. There's nothing she can appeal.
It's nothing that she can actually do at all. Like I think Cardi's gonna come for her money.
Well, hold on. I got Pam. I got Pam is. What, Pam, please come on. I popped the link there. I had the video playing. Pam is in the building again. We just had you up here, Pam. What are you doing? Yeah, you're up here. Wait a minute. Pam, come on up here. She said I'm reporting late. Pam, don't be trolling me now. You know you might ace boom coon. But I don't know. It wouldn't make no sense for her to file an appeal. What are you going to appeal to?
Well, I know she's not going to appeal to nothing, but I'm just saying, you said that you don't think Cardi is going to come after her for her money. She sees a little bit already. Cardi coming for her money.
Oh, I didn't say. I said she ain't gonna come after Star Marie Jones.
Oh, okay.
I don't see that happening. She coming at you don't play with her husband, her family. You were trending off her name just
Yeah, and
last
she would
month.
say these apologies, and then there'll be daggers at her. You know what I'm saying? Then she would call her BBLs. Did you see the video she did about Joe Budden?
I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh. I broke it down on my channel. Like, it was just like crazy. She was just going in. And then she since took it down, but she was referring to, because she thought that Cardi had something to do with Joe Budden not putting the interview out. And I guess he must have stressed, he talked to her, must have, fixed it. It was like, no, his attorneys looked at the video. Because as you was talking to your guest, they were saying something about Joe Budden. His attorneys did watch that interview with Tasha K. Was like, no, don't put that interview out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? And Tasha said some things that, he like, I don't want to be in no $4 million debt with you.
Right. The thing is, she's in so much debt right now that it doesn't pay off for anyone to take any risk with her, because they have more to lose than she does.
Well, yeah. She said she lost all of her sponsors.
We don't know about all that.
You don't think so?
Remember, people will say something to you online just to throw you off. But
yeah, that's true.
At the end of the day, that sounds good to the public, but no, I would just say her lawyers and I just taking her word for it.
Okay. So, were you in the courtroom or not, or did you hear some things that was said in the courtroom? Because I was hearing I knew somebody that was said that they were there, and they also have a podcast, and then they said that she let her son move over to Africa because they were saying that she told them she couldn't afford to take care of him.
That was at the 341 hearing, where she testified that she had to send her son to Africa because of the bankruptcy that Cardi's, because Cardi's trying to collect the money. Well, don't blame Cardi. You got to blame yourself. Cardi just, she's trying to collect what the jury awarded her. You can't blame her for you sending your son there. And I think that's nonsense. She's in Florida in a residence. If you listen to the 341 hearing, she's in a very lovely residence in Florida, and her son could have stayed with her. But that's not for me to decide. But don't blame Cardi for sending, for you having to send. I don't even believe she had to.
Wait a minute. Now, school me now. Now, why would she have to send her son out of town? Because she owed Cardi? She got to give up a kid?
Because Cardi may be coming after, Cardi want to get paid. I don't know if she wants to child or what.
I gotta put him on my taxes or something. You know, like what? You gotta give up a kid now just to make her. Like, what the heck is going on? Well, that didn't make no sense to me.
Cardi's not into trafficking, so she didn't have to do all that.
I wasn't even thinking that far in advance. I was just thinking, like, what she thought she wanted to do. Well, now that you can use him as a dependent, he can put on mines on me. What do you want to do? Because your mama owe me debt.
She better get that. You should keep him here and get some of those taxes.
Say get some credits and them tax write-offs with the babies. I don't know. I mean, I understand, this. I mean, she put herself into a serious situation, and she doesn't seem to learn, because I just did a video on her tonight, and she was talking about another rapper, and I'm like, girl, do you get it?
Well, the thing about this Spitting Fire, if the money's, she was going. You remember when the judgment came down, she wasn't doing too much on YouTube.
Right.
When she got the automatic stay, then she was cranking it back up again. Well, now that she knows that money is now going to be sent to Cardi, is she going to be working as hard? I don't know if she's going to be working as hard.
Well, she got a show coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh, they're going to be at the door collecting. Oh no!
I'm trying to tell you, and she's still gonna owe her probably $3 million after that.
That door's not big. How much do you think that door's gonna make? If that door making $10,000, come on, that's whatever that door's making. She want all that.
I mean, the last 2 weeks she was on everybody else's podcast promoting this thing.
Right.
This show she got. So I guess
she didn't know the judge was going to sign this order today either. She didn't factor that in. She didn't factor what could have happened.
She was hoping. She probably was hoping that she can get the show done before the order come through, so she can already have gotten paid.
That could be possibilities.
Because I'm quite sure she didn't get an advance on that show or anything like that.
Well, I don't know. She's selling tickets in advance, and the money's coming. Okay, so she got. I mean, she's gonna have to account for that. She's gonna have to account for that, even down to every employee that they have. If they bring in her employees, the people that are working for her, and put them under oath, and then they lie, that could be a problem.
Well, she trying to, what she's trying to cover her tracks, because she did say on her backup channel she thanked her employees for working for free.
Well,
I see the way you put that down.
employees testified that they're working for free. They have labor laws too now, so I don't know.
Right, you might not want to say that on camera either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They working for free. Like what? We do have labor. They have to work for a wage, a tip, or something.
I don't know. It's just
well, she got exactly everything she deserved. But if she keep coming at these other rappers, they gonna do nothing but follow in her footsteps.
No one's gonna throw. You're not gonna throw good money into bad money. That's throwing good money into bad money. People's just not gonna mess with her.
They don't got the money that Cardi got either. Cardi got loan money. So
yeah, but no one's gonna waste millions because Cardi paid 1.3. It makes no sense to waste money when you know that the first one in line to get their money is Cardi B. So there's no point in even trying to sue her while she's not protected by any court to say they can't sue her. But what's the point? If anyone was going to sue, it would have been someone with some long money like Puffy, because she's said play with his name. She played with tons of people's names, but they didn't go after her. None of them decided to go after it. Cardi took the bold step, and she was standing up not only for herself, but she was standing up for bloggers too. She wanted to make an example. It's obvious.
Yeah, and she did. She made an example out of her. I tell you the truth. I just think that this woman needs to get herself together. And I don't even know how she is, because she came at you, didn't she? You and her had to run it. I remember when she came at you. She said you was stalking her outside her house or something.
Right, stalking her, stalking the kid.
I was out there. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't have a face to your name, but I remember the story she would tell.
Yes, I was looking for the kid. I was out there looking for I mean, she said the most craziest things to the people were like, oh, this guy's out there looking for her kid. Girl, I don't care about your kid. He's in Africa.
Somebody asked her the other day, where your kid is? She said, don't worry about my kid. He's in Africa learning different languages. And he's with my ancestors. And he's gonna grow up to be a man and learn how to be
with the ancestors. I hope she didn't say that.
She did. She sure did. Word for word.
Well,
go to her backup channel, Wino's podcast.
They might need to investigate her because she just. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. She said,
I played it on my video tonight.
Someone said, "Listen, Nikki. I know Nikki's suing Nosy Ho, but Nosy Ho's is not paying Nikki anything. So that's just someone asked me to talk about that. That's just it's no money there. Not to say Nosy Ho is not trying to pay a penny. So what?
But what's going on? I heard about that. What's going on with Nikki and Nosy Ho?
Some lawsuit that probably is not going to go anywhere. And if she wins, what is she going to get? She's not getting anything.
She's not even a bigger blogger like Tasha K.
Right. But, at the end of the day, no one with any common sense is going to waste good money, to put into bad money. No one's going to spend $1 million to sue someone that they'll never get the money for. They'll never get the money.
You don't think Cardi B gonna get the money for Tasha?
I didn't say Cardi B wasn't. I said the other people. I never said Cardi's not getting her money. I just said the other people.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the other people.
It's gonna be interesting. I know she crying tonight. When that order comes down, they came down sometime today, didn't it?
Well, yesterday, the 6th.
Ooh.
Came down the 6th. But listen, this is what I want to do. I want to do this here. Hold on. I want to play a song. I just want to bring it down a little. I just want to play a song that we kind of bring it down a little. One of my favorite singers, and hopefully it don't get flagged. But Alexa, continue. Wait a minute. We have this today.
Throwing that Stephanie Mills out there. Well, you know what? I tell you the truth. She's smiling today. Like this is over with now. She ain't got nowhere to. She ain't spending no money on nothing else. You know, so she didn't have Olga, did she? She had another attorney represent her in bankruptcy court, didn't she?
She had another attorney. I forgot the attorney's name, but she has another attorney. The name of that song was Starlight by Stephanie Mills.
Yes, Stephanie Mills.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you the truth. Well, let me get up out of here.
Okay. I don't want
to... All right. Thank you, Dennis, for having me up here.
Absolutely. Spitting fire, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow Spitting Fire.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Bye-bye, y'all.
On all her platforms. Peace. Let's see here. Okay. That's right. I just said it, girl. I just said it. Yeah, we would play music, but they be flagging all these videos, and I didn't want to do too much here. But ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining me tonight or this morning. I don't care where you're at around the globe. This is a special. Wait a minute. Is Diva's in the building? What the heck? There you go, D. I ain't see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. This is a impromptu Hip Hop Inquirer exclusive. Yes, this is a fact. The judge has signed the order, and the judge has said you must pay her, and you can't discharge this in our courts. This won't be discharged here. The judge put that signature on the document today. And he said, listen, you see my signature? Well, you got to do this. These are the things you got to do right here. Judge said, see my signature? But you got to do this. You got to read all this. And this is what you got to do. You see what time, the date? This happened today. Judge signed it. Hold on a second. Get out of here, yeah. So you see what it is. Judge wasn't playing. Judge wasn't playing. Yes, it's been a while. But ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you joining my live this evening. It was an impromptu live, but I wanted to do it because I did it on Instagram, and I was doing it on here. Anyway, I am gonna bid you a farewell.